Welcome back for another week with Larissa Russell from Creative You. We're talking about optimism today. So that's exciting. I'm glad to have you. As you can see, I have a bit of a different background today. I am switching things up in my office and trying to make some changes so you not have to look at that mess behind me all the time. So today we're talking about optimism, and specifically 5 ways to add more optimism to your life. So who doesn't want more of that? So some of the ways that we can do that, well, some of the reasons we want to do that, first of all, is because having more optimism actually increases our health benefits. So they have found, in a Harvard School of Public Health did a long-term study over an 8-year time period and found that women were 30% less likely to die from any serious illness if they were optimistic. So that is huge. That's huge. Optimism also helps you better with pain management, improved immune and cardiovascular function, greater physical functioning. So it helps it's going to be one of those tongue-tie days. Optimism helps buffer the negative effects of physical illness and is associated with better health outcomes in general. So optimism is really important. So how do we turn things around so that we can be more optimistic, right? How can we change things? Because if we're not feeling, hi Karen, I'm glad you're here, I can see you. Oh, thank you. It is looking a little better, isn't it? So how do we change and become more optimistic, right? That's the important part, because sometimes it's really hard if we're not feeling well, if we're in a lot of pain, if we, just life is hard sometimes. And so how do we change that? So one of those ways is to shift to looking at things through a positive lens. So actually consciously shifting your thoughts. So actually finding ways or things that are positive in the negative. So maybe you're having a bad day, but your sister called. So that's a positive. And maybe you're in pain, but you were able to walk to get your mail and you couldn't do that yesterday. So just looking at those positives just trying to change things around so you're not always sitting in the negative thoughts. Another big one, number 2, pay attention to who you hang out with. Right? The people you hang out with really make a difference in your life. And when you hang around with negative people or people who are always down, they can bring you down because just with what they're talking about or what they're thinking or what they're sharing. And sometimes they may be hard on you and they're so unhappy that they want to make other people unhappy too. So shifting who you spend time with is really important. So that's try to spend more time with positive people. Maybe it's just listening to podcasts if you don't have a close network or, you can't get out much, but listening to podcasts of positive people, maybe watching some YouTube videos of people doing amazing things and really pumping up other people. People who inspire other people, those are the people you want to spend time with. So in your personal life, but also in the things that you're paying attention to, right? Number 3, turn off the news. This was a big one for me because I always want to know what's going on in the world. And I found now that I have to just do little sound bites. So I'll go in and research what's happening today in the world and look at reputable news companies on the internet and just check out what's actually happening, maybe double check with somebody else, and then turn the rest off because I just can't listen to that negativity all the time. The news is meant to keep us fearful. And so we think we want to know what's going on, and we absolutely need to know what's going on, but we don't need all that negative, extras, if you will, included in that. So that's really important. So limit your news time. Okay. Number 4, pay attention to what you can and cannot control. And this is big because we often think that worrying about things, maybe we don't even think about it. We just worry about things, right? But knowing what we can and cannot control makes a big difference. So to stop worrying about things we can't control, to put more attention to the things we can control. And if we can't control something, what can we do to let those fears and worries go? So maybe we're worried about paying a bill and we don't have that money. So we can't, if we keep dwelling on not paying the bill's not going to get paid, right? So what can we do instead? Can we phone them and make arrangements? Can we borrow money? Can we do something different? Maybe it's what's happening with school this year. Is my child going to go back to school? Is the schools opening? You have no control over what's happening with the school system. You only have control over what's happening with your child. So maybe focusing your attention on, okay, if school's going to go back, what am I going to do instead? If school's not going to go back, what can I do instead of worrying about what other people are going to do, right? So those are really important. Yeah, Karen, I agreed, right? The news. And it's too much. It's too much. So number 5, which brings us to our exercise this week, but number 5 is keeping a gratitude journal. And I know I talk about gratitude a lot, but it's so important in changing our mindset. So a gratitude journal is one of the best ways to bring attention to the positive things you have in your life. And what I like to do is look at 5 things that I'm grateful for each day. And I do it at the end of the day. Some people like to do it at the beginning. But just to document every single day 5 things you're grateful for, it definitely changes how you think about things. So I challenge you to do that. And this week's exercise, the video will be released on Thursday. We're creating a gratitude journal, just a little journal that we can put our gratitude in every day. Just keep it by our bed, add our 5 gratitudes each and every day. And it's just a constant reminder for us. So that will be out on Thursday for you. And yeah, so just about keeping your optimism up, and a few steps on how to do that, bring more focus to the positives in your life. And I look forward to talking to you again next week. And pay attention to what's going on, because we've got all sorts of new things. We've just launched our membership. We have a retreat coming up. It's not been released yet, but you'll find out this week. So that's just a hint. You're going to want to know that because that's a free retreat. So yes, we've got all sorts of fun things coming up, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Yes, Karen, 5 things you're grateful for every day. It makes a huge difference. So, all right, well, have an amazingly creative day, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening in. Please remember to like, share, subscribe wherever you are watching or listening. You can find us at www.creativeyou.ca.